Hello and good evening. You are back with the crew. Thank you so very much. Wow, here we are again. Every time I hear someone tell me about crypto's dead, it's going south, it's going to drop 50%, it always does that. You just better hang on. Alan, you bought that thing again. You're going to have to wait 2 more years because it's dropping. I say, just hold on a minute. Just a minute. Just relax a bit. Markets always go down in August and September. First half of September. It's brutal. It can be a really brutal market out there. And just because it's up a little bit, I don't know, as I'm making this, XRP's like $3.10 or something like that. I think Bitcoin's still over 116. It's common. Pullbacks. It's not a crash. It's not one side or the other. Everything in the world isn't black or white. It doesn't have to be like that. It's not a 90% drop. That's not what's happening any longer. I'm not saying forever. I'm just saying right now. In particular, I'm talking about the economy right now. I'm talking to you who's telling me, who's listening to these other people tell you that there's going to be a recession. I'm telling you, the recession's coming because they printed too many dollars, the gold thing, and oh my God, and the boomers are telling us the sky's falling, and the next thing you know, it's like, how come it hasn't happened yet? We're not headed for a recession. We're headed for quite the opposite. I don't know if you're paying attention, but first of all, why? Why? Tell me the reasoning behind a recession. Let's see. We have crypto being completely adopted all around the world. Okay? We have the president of the free world is completely behind crypto. We have the president just signed into law, not just nuclear power plants, all kinds of power. Drill, baby, drill. We are grossly underpowered here in the United States, everywhere around the world probably. So they're going to build power plants, electric. We need 30 to 40% more electricity just for AI than we currently produce today. That tells me that you probably might want, if you live somewhere sunny, you might want to think about buying some solar panels and putting them on your roof. I'm just saying, because they're pretty cheap, they're pretty easy, and it's not rocket science, and they'll pay for themselves in a year or two. Anyway, you might just want to think about that, especially with the price of electricity going through the roof, and it's going to be crazy. How else do I know that there's not going to be a recession? Well, if you look back in man's history and whenever we industrialized or we built big things or people, all of a sudden everybody started buying cars or everyone started buying barbecues or building decks or adding onto your house, but, borrowing money, a HELOC against your home and, adding on just to put another bedroom or a nicer kitchen. And then, people were that's not happening right now. So what does that tell you? We're in the bottom. I just about spilt my drink all over my lap. That would have been entertaining for you guys. But it's not happening like that right now. We've essentially been in a slow period, a decline. Nobody has free money to spend. People aren't adding on to their home. People aren't buying new cars. People aren't doing any of that stuff. So what does that tell you that they need to be doing here soon? They're going to want to do that. They're going to want to add on. They're going to want to spend money. People like earning and spending money. Oh, they can't do it, Alan, because, the middle class is gone and it's done for and they've been abolished. You don't even understand. The wealthy are just crushing. Do you know that the global middle class has increased by 8% since 2020? Globally? No, not in the US, maybe. Globally. That means there's more people with money, less people in poverty than ever before. Just wrap your head around that for a minute. Those people need stuff. Those people don't want to pedal a bike to work. They need a car. They need things. They need an electric bike, maybe, whatever it might be. All of that to say this. How are they going to make money? Are they going to compete with AI? Are they going to compete with, I don't know, probably not. So if they have an accounting job or one of these jobs that's easily consumed by AI, they're going to need something to invest in. And it's not just buy a home or add on to the house. Add on to the house for equity kind of made sense in the old program, the old style of doing fiat business, if you would, to, further your portfolio. It's an asset. You're building on your asset. You're doing better. That's not happening anymore. No, that's not what's going to happen. Let's remember that almost everybody, the percentages of people that own crypto are below the age of 40. Let's remember that all the boomers are the ones who are passing away, okay? They're handing their money to their kids. Their kids are putting money into crypto. They're putting money into tech. They're putting money into their future of earning money through trading Robinhood or trading with bots or trading whatever it might be. Those of you who saw my Thursday night show, I'm leading up to something here. Our channel is headed towards some phenomenal products that I'm going to be introducing to you very soon, probably next Thursday night, little hint. And you may want to watch that episode. You can make money with money easier today online than you've ever been able to do before. MMs, Dexit, all of it. DeFi, it's here to stay. There's trading platforms. There's all sorts of avenues in which you need to understand how to make money with money, because your money now is the most important thing. And I'm not talking about just fiat. I'm talking about crypto. I'm talking about, using crypto. I'm talking about understanding what the value of something can create more value. In other words, we're eliminating the dinosaur, which is the banking institution that has made all the money from your money. Oh, I just run down and put my check in the bank every Friday and, go buy a six-pack on Saturday. Those days are going behind us. You're becoming your own bank. You're in control of your 401k. You've taken possession of those funds. And you're now asking yourself, well, now what, Alan? What do I do with that money? How do I make that money work for me, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Jones? You learn. And it's not difficult today. It's easier than it's ever been before. Sit down, do some ChatGPT or Grok or whichever one you listen to or watch, and ask it, how do I make money? What channels do I listen to? Who do I like? Who resonates with me? What coins have I already bought? Do I have too many of those coins? Maybe those coins aren't making me as much money. Maybe I could eliminate some of the dogs and I could put those into something that does make me money. That's where you're at. Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself, and we're at that point. I've been telling people in my group for 6-8 months now, the day is coming to when it's going to be more legal for DeFi. There's going to be more institutions doing DeFi. These ETFs are here. They're right around the corner in a more legitimate sense. These future markets are all opportunities for you to learn them, trade them, work on them, make money through them. All of them. That being said, do not give your life to that. There's avenues and places. Now, I'm not going to get into it on this show. What I really want to talk about now is when the youth, shouldn't say that, because people under 50, 40 are what I'm talking about. When they inherit this money, they're not going to put it into 60-40. They're not going to put it in bonds. In fact, bonds are almost dead with a, genius bill. I mean, that pretty much is eliminating the future of all bond trading. Where you're going to be looking now is stable coins. They're going to pay you a return. There's trading is going to pay you a return. What are you going to do with capital? You inherited it from a boomer. Now what? Are they going to buy gold with it? Some of them, what, 1, 2, 5% of the population is going to take boomer money and put it into gold? Maybe. I doubt it. That's probably not where it's going to go. It's going to go into the products that you already own. That's why you watch this channel. You already own those products. That capital is coming. Every time this nation, this planet has industrialized, look at the boom that China went through. What happened to the whole world? The whole world prospered. What's attempting to be happening in the US right now? Europe's kind of in a decline, as we know, for quite a period of time now. China's in a big decline. Russia's in a boom. US is trying to boom. It's trying to industrialize, but it's doing it the smart way. What is the smart way? In this man's opinion, it doesn't have to be your opinion. In this man's opinion, it's going with AI, it's going with tech, it's going with crypto. It's decided that it's going to generate more electricity because it wants to lead the way into the new era. And the new era is the 50-year-olds and younger that I'm talking about are going to be doing the same thing that you already have been doing. This is the new trend. So when you make something as basic and as simple as electricity in a power plant, that it takes thousands of man hours of the old style of industrial, development. Okay? It takes all that. All of that is very time consuming, labor intense. That vitalizes your economies in these communities. We're going to build dozens of nuclear power plants around the United States alone. And think about what that means to your economy in your neighborhood. It's thousands of jobs and it trickles down. Those things are very expensive to build. Between that and people, hear me out in this last point. This one's big. We have over $7 trillion worth of invested money in. Well, I got that. I'm that guy, the guy. He's all bragging about the fact that he's got a 3% home loan. And, yeah, I got me that 3% home loan, and I'm sitting pretty, and I'm sitting on top of the world. And then I took my 401k, and I'm getting 5%. Yeah, he's getting 5% on his money right now. Interest rates are about to fall. They are about to drop them. So he's already at mid-4s. Is he going to accept mid-3? With inflation, he's losing money at 5. He didn't understand that, but most of those guys don't understand. If you're buying bonds or treasuries and thinking you're getting ahead on the world, or keeping your money in the bank and you think you're getting ahead of the world, the only people that are getting ahead in the world are the people buying the proper stocks, crypto, gold, precious metals, I'll say, in the last 6 months. You're the only ones making any money. Real estate isn't doing it. You're the only smart people in the room right now. Preaching to the choir here. That's $7 trillion worth of those people who have locked their cash up. I got me one of them CDs. Great. Good for you. Get out of it. You're gonna get out of it. All just coincidentally in time for all the banking and financial institutions to get into crypto. And for Mr. Larry to come out and tell everybody, hey, we're going to tokenize ETFs. Gosh, what timing, Larry? I'm sure it's a coincidence. But all of this is coming to a stock, to a crypto near you. Right now. Right here and now. So, what do we know about crypto that is so unique compared to all the other industrial booms in the history of mankind? The youth bought crypto. That's right, the youth. The people I'm going to call them under 40. They bought crypto. And when crypto goes up, because that $7 trillion is going to look for a return of more than 4%, 3.5%. And eventually when we get to ZERP or zero, They're going to be going, I'll take anything as an investment. Sure, like I said, 3, 5, maybe to even 10% of them are going to put it in gold. The rest are going to put it where? Where else is made money? AI, stocks, crypto. Are they going to buy real estate with it? Doesn't look like it to this man, but I don't know, maybe your neighborhood's different. I don't know. $7 trillion. Now, I know we throw trillions around anymore like it's just, oh, that's just pancakes. No problem. It's nothing to it. 7 trillion. Do you have any idea what, I don't know, 5-10% of that going into crypto would mean? That means that you go from 5 or 10% of the people seeing the momentum, and everybody that's got the other, I don't know, 6.9 trillion laying around go, oh, here's the hot ticket. Here's the hot ride. There it is. Well, do I build another room on the house? No, dear, you put it into that Bitcoin thing. Or better yet, let's look down the, oh, hey, look, XRP is only $5. Let's buy a bunch of that. Perfect. It'll go to 10 and we'll make all kinds of money, Martha. I love it. Let's do it. But the youth have already owned the crypto. So they're going to double, triple, quadruple their money. Which gets me back to why I started in this entire video, which is we're not headed for a recession. I just explained to you industry, the elder getting out of safe money and putting it into, speculative money, risk on, if you will. Bank interest rates dropping, them flooding the market with $7 trillion worth of private funds, on top of probably a mess of QE. And we happen to know that Europe's going to have to print their way out of the mess they're in because they banned nuclear power plants. So they're going to have to replace all of those over the next decade because they don't have any choice. How many jobs does that create? On and on and on and on. Where are they going to get the parts? Where are they going to get the labor? They're going to buy it all from China, and China's going to get better. Where are they going to get the power? They're going to get it from Russia. I just explained a global financial boom to you. Real simply. May not resonate with you. Maybe you could argue it. Maybe you got 15 holes in that story. Maybe. But here's where it gets really sweet. What do we know about the youth? Well, they've never had an economic boom on their own, say, 20-year-olds to 40-year-olds. But crypto is, and crypto will be. When everybody jumps back in, the public jumps in, the bandwagon goes roaring down the road, and everybody's jumping on at the late stages of it, and the big number go bigger, you and I and all of that youth are going to become cash rich. What happens when, for the first time in the history of mankind, youth has a ton of money? You think 2020 was big? You think there was a lot of people just spending money on frivolous things in late 2020, 21? You wait until you see the wealth that comes to the people that are under 40 and what they irresponsibly, I'll call it, do with it. Think about that. Are they going to save for a rainy day? No, they're going to think because when you're 25, you think you're going to live forever. Well, you do, but we won't get into that in this show. They think there is no rainy day. That's your economic tailwind at the end of this industrial boom that is going to stimulate AI, and people are it's going to blow their minds. And I know you got the doom and gloomers telling you I'm completely wrong. I just told you what's about to happen to you, your XRP, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, all of it. I don't care what coin you have in the top 10. They're all going to 10x. Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 5 years? I don't know. But you're looking at a 10xer here. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I was calling for a really slow August and first half of September. Maybe it's just going to stop at 116 or 110 or 310, whatever XRP is today, and it go the other way and it drop even down further. It's possible. Personally, I think with the 17th and Jay Powell is going to drop, I don't know, 50 basis points, possibly. Light the fires. Light the fires and kick the turbos in. Is it going to happen all in 1 week? Of course not. Of course not. It's going to be a steady, gradual decline of that $7 trillion leaving that pool, and that pool's going to slosh into looking for something. And I just told you where a lot of it's going to go. Could potentially 50% of that money end up in crypto over the next year or 2 or 5? Sure could. What do you think $3-4 trillion would do to this market? It'd be bigger than 10x most coins, I can tell you that. Anyway, we got all that to look forward to. I thought I'd just give you a little video here for Saturday morning. I hope you guys are all enjoying your weekend. I'm actually glad to be back here on the ranch. It's been a 2-week trip that Elizabeth and I were on with the puppies. It was brilliant. It was fun. It was incredible to see the entire country. Unfortunately, we spend most of that time on the interstate, which is not a good way to see this beautiful country of ours. But I did get to see a bunch of you. It wasn't the trip that I was hoping it would be because I was really thinking I would be able to spend more time with you all, and it didn't work out that way. But we have many trips in the future to come and to share with each other. Speaking of a trip that you might want to make, you might want to look into, there's going to be a email below that where you can check out coming to Fort Lauderdale in late January, 29, 30, and 31. We're going to be doing a show in the warm. Get out of the cold. You're going to be over there. You're going to be hanging out with the people that you love and like, and you have so much in common with. With that, I'm going to get out of here. I love you all very much. And stay calm. Stay cool. We got this. I'm out.